Over the last 10 years, I've spent well over $100,000 on personal development programs, coaching, and books. And there are some key lessons that pop up over and over again. So in this video, I'm going to distill 10 years of knowledge into 7 key lessons that you can use to have the life that you want. So the first thing to have the life that you want is self-belief. Hannibal's motto is, I'll either find a way or I'll make one. And this comes down to self-belief. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So in life, if you're going in for that pay rise, if you don't believe that you're worthy enough, do you think you're going to get that pay rise? More than likely not. If you're going in to ask a girl on a date, if you don't believe you're worthy enough, you're probably not going to get the date. So in life, self-belief is one of the most fundamental things in order to have the life of your dreams and get what you want. And this keeps popping up through all the personal development programs, all the coaching, through everything that I've researched. Self-belief is one of the most critical things in order for you to live a successful and fulfilling life. After studying 10 years of self-improvement, personal development, another thing that keeps popping up over and over and over again is decision. Making a decision. If you don't decide, nobody's going to decide for you. And if you don't make a decision, you're going to fall into somebody else's plan. So decision. So when you decide what you want, you can go after it. But if you don't make a decision, what are you going to do? You're going to be in limbo. So everything starts with a decision. If you have a goal, if you want a certain amount of financial wealth, you need to decide what you want and how much you want. But if you don't make a decision, you're going to end up with nothing. So the first thing to do, or second thing to do, whatever it may be, is actually have a decision. The person that decides gets further in life. You're better off making a decision fast than making no decision at all, because what happens is we procrastinate, we delay, we put things off, and we don't get ahead. So in order to get ahead in life, what I've researched and what I've studied is we need to make a decision. If you don't know what to do, make a decision and don't waver on that decision, because you're better off making a decision and making multiple mistakes along the way than sitting still and doing nothing, because every decision you make is one step closer to realizing your dreams and getting what you want. So Alan Watts, he's a great self-help author. He's written well over 30 books. He said, nothing worthwhile was ever achieved without taking risks. So risk taking. In the share market, the greater the risk, the greater the returns from the market. And the same is in life. The greater risk you take in life, the greater the returns you're going to get. If you're going to live a comfortable life without no risk, you're probably going to be living a comfortable life that is very mediocre. But in order to get ahead, in order to live a fulfilling, meaningful, purposeful, exhilarating, exciting, enthusiastic life, we need to take risk. And this pops up over and over again. And the greater the risk that you're willing to take is going to determine the level of success and fulfillment that you have in your life. And this pops up through all the personal development programs. They talk about risk over and over again. If you're not willing to risk it, you're not going to win the biscuit. You're going to end up living in the mediocre job, 9 to 5, doing the bare minimum, wondering how do those people afford those beautiful homes? How do they afford those holidays? How do they afford those cars? Well, the reason they can afford these things is because they've been able to take the risk in order to achieve those things. The greater the risk, the greater the return in life. So risk to win. If you don't want to risk, you're going to end up mediocre, and that keeps popping up over and over again. Failure shows us the way by showing us what's not the way. This is something that Ryan Holiday said. So failure keeps popping up over and over again. If you take failure as a stepping stone in order to get towards your goals, you'll get there. But a lot of the time, people think they've failed and they give up. The only person that is a failure is a person that gives up. But if you keep going and going again, it's actually not failure. It's a lesson in order for you to figure out what works and what doesn't work in order for you to reach your dreams. So failure, there is no such thing as failure. There's only failure to the person who gives up on their dreams or gives up trying to attempt what they were doing. So Thomas Edison, how many attempts did it take him to make the light bulb? It was something like 10,000 times. But the one thing that he said was, I learned 10,000 ways not to make the light globe. So what type of mindset do you have? Because there's no such thing as failure unless you give up. So don't give up. Failure is just part of the journey. It's a stepping stone in order for you to get to where you want to. So what keeps popping up in these personal development programs and books and all this coaching is the contrarian view. So if you want to maintain the status quo, what do? We do what most people do. They go to their 9 to 5 job. They do what most people do. But we need to have a contrarian view. We need to do what most people aren't doing. So if somebody's walking this way, you're better off going against the crowd. And the reason for that is we're developing a contrarian view in life. So we see things differently. If we maintain the status quo and do what everybody else does, what do you think we want to end up like? We want to end up like everybody else. But as soon as you start traveling in the direction opposite from your 9-to-5 people, your standard people, you're going to start to unlock different ideas, different insights that are going to take you on this journey to success and to fulfillment and meaningful life. So the contrarian view is a thing that keeps popping up over and over again. By walking opposite towards the crowd, you're going to end up reaching what you want in life. You're going to end up getting that house, getting that car, because you're not doing what everyone else is doing, the 9-to-5 job. You're going to do something completely different. So the contrarian view is definitely something that's going to help you get ahead in life. So me, whenever people have a group think, which is they all think the same, I'm like, okay, what aren't they thinking? I'm always thinking something else, because that's going to ensure that I'm doing something different, which is going to lead to different results, which is going to make sure that I'm ahead of the game. James Allen once said, the outer world of circumstance shapes to the inner world of thought. So our thoughts really do create our reality, and that's so important to understand. What are you thinking within here? Because what you're thinking in here is going to determine what's going on outside of you. So for me, I live in a beautiful suburb in Australia in one of the most expensive, exclusive streets, and I live beachfront. I've got the beach behind me. I don't know if you can see it because of the glare, but I've got the beach behind me. And how do you think I got this house? It all started in my mind. I believed that I could have this house, but it all started in thought. From having these thoughts over and over again, I was able to achieve my dream of living beachfront. So I think it's so important to understand that everything starts out in thought. So what are you thinking every morning, every afternoon, every evening? What thoughts are you having? Are you having thoughts of optimism or pessimism? Do you believe that you can, or do you believe that you can't? Because all these thoughts are going on over and over again within your head, and they're going to determine where you end up in life. So for me, I believe in abundance. I believe in the infinite. I believe that everything is possible. But if you believe that nothing's possible, if you believe in lack, if you believe in scarcity, what do you think you're going to get? So all your thoughts shape your reality. Your thoughts are a powerful thing. So when you understand that the thoughts that you have will dictate your destiny, you can start to shape your thoughts in order to create the future that you want. And this keeps popping up in all the personal development programs, all the courses, that your thoughts create your future, they create your destiny. If you have great thoughts, you can have a great life. If you have poor thoughts, you can have a poor life. So understand that it's a powerful thing. And it's really helped me get to where I've gotten to. And what always comes up in the personal development programs, coaching, books, is something so simple, and yet so many people don't do them, is goals. Are you setting goals? It's a great question I like to ask. Are you actually setting goals? If I was to come up to you and ask you, what are your goals? Would you be able to rattle them off? If someone came up to me and asked me what my goals are, I could rattle them off quick, smart. So success leaves clues, and the successful people always have something that they're working towards. So what is your goal? Set yourself goals frequently. Always set goals every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year. I'm setting goals. So what am I working on? What's my new thing? Because there's ever greater levels of expression and expansion in our lives if we set goals. If you're at 10% body fat and you want to get down to 8% body fat, if you're in a house like this on the beach, that's great. But now my next goal might be a super yacht. So who knows? We don't know, but I think setting goals is so important, because we go from one stepping stone to the next, to the next, to the next. So set goals, and from these goals, you're going to be able to create the future that you want. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. These were just some tips that I want to share with you. I've spent the last 10 years studying personal development. I spent well over $100,000. I've read thousands of books. I've spent heaps on coaching, and these 7 things keep popping up over and over again. So I thought I'd share them with you. Study these things, go online, research them, and they're going to help you get the life that you want. They're going to save you time, and they're going to make sure that you live a fulfilling, meaningful life. So thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, as it really does help the YouTube algorithm. Share my videos with other people like you. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.